Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-February 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Leo. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it, Leo. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you the meaning of the tarot cards as well as any intuitive messages that I receive. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising to get a full picture of everything that's going on. Also, if you've not done so already, please do subscribe to my channel. That helps me very greatly. And additionally, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified anytime I post a new video, and I typically post a few Leo videos a month. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up, coming to a close for you. Column 2, we're going to take a look at the remainder of February. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. Some advice to take into the end of February with you. We'll also do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note, and your crystal of the month. So let's pull a summary card of what we've got going on. The card we have is friction. So some of you could have been feeling some friction or tension in the last few weeks. Maybe things were just not quite right for you. But let's clarify and see what messages we have coming through, Leo. The first card that we have is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. If you look at this card, this person is like hunched over, head hanging low into this bundle of wands. Like they're just burnt out. Too much is going on. A lot of you could have been feeling that stress, exhaustion, or those burdens these last few weeks. The next card we have, though, is the World card, which is completing a lesson or a goal. Things have gone full circle and are now completed. So I would say that if you haven't felt it yet, this cycle of kind of exhaustion, stress, too many burdens will be coming to an end for you. And at the bottom, we have the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of love, self-love. It is a card of courage with the lion on the card as well. But this is like a card of self-respect too. So do make sure that you're taking care of yourself as you go through kind of these last few days to get to the point where we're moving out of those burdens and that stress and that exhaustion. Let's pull some clarifying cards though and see what other kind of things that we can acknowledge that's happened for you the last few weeks. The next card that we have is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is very practical. It's very solid, very practical. It's a card of like leadership too. What I'm getting from this message, Leo, is like you've been trying to be practical, you've been trying to make good choices, but there's just so much going on. It's almost like that feeling of like no matter what you do, you just can't get ahead of things. Again, just acknowledging those feelings. If it hasn't stopped for you yet, it's going to, because again, this is what's happened in the last few weeks and what's coming to a close for you. The next card we have is the Emperor. The Emperor is a card of respect, strategic planning. We were talking about respecting yourself earlier, so this would be you on the throne here. So just make sure you keep your head held high. It is on top of the World card, which is that completion card. We'll definitely be getting there soon. Keep being strategic, keep trying to plan. Plan like you'll be out of this kind of rut that you've been in. Then the last card at the bottom here is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a very romantic card. It's a card of partnership. It could be a card of marriage or proposal too. So some of you could have gotten engaged or married. But what this is really saying is like, make sure you're asking for help. The Two of Cups is very much so a card of partnership. So as things come up or you need assistance, make sure you're asking for help. When you're in that Ten of Wands position, overwhelmed, some other people may be able to step in and help you with those burdens as well. Now let's take a look at the next column, which is going to be what's going on through the end of February. We have the card Revolution. So some of you could be going through a revolution stage, possibly some evolution, some change. Let's see what messages we have coming up. The first card we have is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a card, again, of leadership. Leadership has come up a few times for you with the King of Pentacles, the Emperor. Down the King of Wands. I really feel like some of you are leading yourself through this time, but it is a card of power as well, charm and courage. Courage has also been kind of a reoccurring theme for you. Leadership and courage are both reoccurring words. But what I'm getting is like you'll be leading yourself through this revolution that you're going through. It's saying you need to be courageous as you go through this transition. Be bold, be confident, be comfortable in your skin, Leo. The next card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, and it's about being patient and working hard. That makes sense to me because I feel like a lot of you are coming off trying times where just a lot's been happening, and you're kind of having to be patient as you move into this new period of time. Also, though, be persistent and be hardworking, so continue to keep pushing forward on this growth for yourself. Then we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's also a card of family, friends, and reunion. So some of you could be being reconnected with friends and family, or a reunion of somebody you've been separated from. But I feel like there will be celebration. You'll get to this point of revolution and it'll be like a sigh of relief almost, Leo, is what it's feeling like. Let's clarify this column and see what messages I can give you. The first card we have is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence. It's not very good relationships typically. So there could be somebody that hasn't been treating you well. It could be a coworker, boss, family, friend. That could be part of the revolution, is moving on and separating from this person. Like maybe you are kind of like caught in a rut with this person too. So this could be a revolution away from a person or into a new friend group, or a separation of some sort of relationship. But this is acknowledging that it's not a very good relationship. And it's on top of that King of Wands, which was saying that you needed to be courageous to leave, to move on. There could have been a really bold personality too that was just hard to get along with. The next card we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of voluntary change, and it's about trusting your intuition. If you take a look at the sun here, there's a face on the sun, and anytime we see that, that's trusting your intuition, going within for answers. But I feel like you're going to have to make the choice to go through this revolution or to separate yourself from this person. It's again on top of that Knight of Pentacles, which is very patient, very hardworking. It may take time to kind of cut ties from this situation or person, so you do need to stay patient. But I think that it's the right move for you, especially with the Empress card here at the bottom. The Empress is a card of creation, abundance. Two very positive cards at the bottom here as you work through this revolution. As you work through these changes, you have the Four of Wands, the Empress. As you're almost setting yourself free to create and unlock this abundance where you've kind of been, again, I keep coming through as kind of stuck in a rut, Leo. The Empress, it could also be a card of pregnancy and fertility for those of you that are interested in that. It is on top of a family card as well, so there could be fertility for some of you as well too. Now let's take a look specifically at money in our next column. This could be your job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, really anything related to money. And let's see what messages we have coming through there. We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very intentional, very strategic thought process. When I see the King of Swords, it's like a very long-term card. A lot of you could be feeling like you're in the right job long-term. This is also kind of validation that you're making the right choices with your money. You're making the right choices with your career. The next card we have is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition first and foremost, but it's like trusting yourself. There could be like some sort of secret or mystery going on around work, which sounds kind of silly or money related. We're going to clarify that card and see what we're doing there. But again, it's telling you to trust your intuition as things come up related to money and work. At the bottom here we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited and very creative. You might be like being asked to take on a creative project or do some sort of new creative line of work. If you own your own business, it might be like telling you to be more creative in the way you're selling a product or your approach on a product, maybe the design or color of it. But let's clarify and see what messages we've got going on. The first clarifying card we have is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is kind of a card of low emotion. You see this person is laid down and they have all the swords stuck into them, and the sky is very dark. It can sometimes be referred to as a card of being kind of at rock bottom. It's a very low place. I feel like for some of you, you could have maybe been unsure about your future or where things were going. I would take this as confirmation that you're on the right path, although very recently for some of you, you might have felt like you were not on the right path with money, finances, or your career. The next card we have is the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, self-respect, unconditional love, and of course with the lion on the card, it's a card of courage. What I'm going to say to this, because again, I feel like there is some sort of secret or something you're not seeing or hearing at work. This is like saying be true to yourself. So like just keep doing the good work that you know you've been doing. Don't get caught up if there is gossip or there's secret or there's mystery about something. I'm getting the message that you just need to keep pushing forward, Leo, and keep doing the great things that you know you're already doing. At the bottom we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a great card to have in the money and work column. The Eight of Pentacles is a card of working hard, working smarter, not harder. You're very skilled. You're very good at the work you're doing and those around you see it. Again, makes sense with that note with the High Priestess and Strength. It's just like keep doing the good work you already know you're doing. It's on top of the Knight of Wands. I was again saying that you might be taking a more creative approach. So you might be asked to take on a special project at work, or like I said, take a more creative approach if you own your own business to how you're marketing your products or creating your products. The next column we're going to talk about is anything related to love. So this could be family, friends, relationships, single, married, engaged, whatever that may be. Could be children as well, but anything related to love. So I do want to call out the cup energy is coming through pretty strong in this column with our two cup cards at the top. Cups are typically water signs, and it's also very emotional energy, so just keep that in mind as we read through these. The first card that we have is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a card of feeling unfulfilled. Some of you could be feeling unfulfilled in your current relationship, or if you're single, you might be feeling unfulfilled. In some cases, this is surprise gifts, so some of you could be getting a surprise from a loved one, friend, or family member in the remainder of the month with that fourth cup kind of coming in there. The next card that we have is the Seven of Cups. If you look at the Seven of Cups, there's something different in every one of these cups. It's about having many choices, and in some cases it can indicate commitment issues. This could be you or your partner. Some of you could be hesitant to commit, or your partner could be hesitant to commit. I do likely think that this is connected to the fulfillment piece. If you're single, I would say that you probably too are not ready to commit, but I want to point out that you have lots of options, and perhaps that's why you are having a hard time deciding if you want to commit to one person or not. Then at the bottom we have the Star card. The Star card is a card of its renewal. It's a card of hope, inner clarity. It's about having faith. So I would say that you need to keep a positive mindset looking at all of these different things. Again, if you're single or in a relationship, make sure you're keeping a really positive mindset. If you're single and want to be in a relationship, make sure that's what you are thinking about and thinking about it positively. If you are in a relationship and you're feeling this unfulfilled, you need to figure out why you're feeling unfulfilled and kind of work there so you can get to this point of where your energies and your hope are being renewed. Again, a card of inner clarity. So making sure you know what you want so you can ask for that from your partner. Let's clarify this column and see what messages we get. The first clarifying card we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is very stagnant energy. You see this person is hanging there upside down by their foot. It kind of means things are stalled out. Like you're literally just hanging there until the next piece of information comes in. However, if you flip it over, it does become the Fool. So it is oftentimes a card of new beginnings. But it's like you're waiting for something to happen first. And my advice is, rather than waiting and feeling unfulfilled, you need to figure out why you're feeling unfulfilled, Leo. The next card that we have is the Chariot. Somebody once described this card to me as the Vroom Vroom card. It just means that things are moving. Action is happening. With the Chariot, there's action, there's change. You're being on a journey. Vroom Vroom, things are moving. I would say for those of you that are feeling unfulfilled, here to start moving to this place where you're getting better fulfillment. Also, if there is commitment issue or with that Seven of Cups having too many choices, you'll be able to make some progress on both of those things. For some of you, you might if you're waiting to get engaged, that may happen for you. Or again, if you're single and wanting to be with somebody, that shift may happen with the Chariot there. We're going to make progress on this lack of fulfillment and commitment issues. The next card that we have is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card of teamwork, expansion, travel. Some of you may be traveling. But expansion is the thing that's sticking out here. Also teamwork as well. Teamwork is very much so associated with the Three of Wands. Again, this is like being clear on what you want so you can get it from your partner. You have to be clear on what you want so you can ask for what you need and what you want in life. So make sure that you are collaborating and working with your friends, family, partner to figure out what that is. Some of you also might be taking a vacation too. That's kind of renewing your energy, which is really nice. The next card that we have is Motion. This is just confirming that things are in motion for you. We were a little stagnant, but it seems like things are starting to shake up and move, Leo. Let's read through this column though. Again, this is a message from our future self or spirit guides. So something for you to carry into February with you. The first card we have is Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a card of patience. I think a lot of you have been very patient to this point. For some of you, this could also be a new job or raise or some sort of money news. The next card we have is the Eight of Swords. I personally like the Eight of Swords because I can give this to you kind of as a piece of advice. With the Eight of Swords, this is a card of self-imposed restrictions. So you see this person's arms are bound and they're blindfolded, but all these swords are stuck into the ground. And you can very easily kind of cut yourself back or scoot back and cut yourself free, Leo. So this is like almost a warning sign to make sure that you're not limiting yourself, especially if you're going into that new job. Make sure you're very open-minded. Don't say you don't know how to do things because you're capable of doing them. And then we do have the Five of Swords again coming up, which is that card of bully, theft, not very good relationships. Some of you could be switching jobs to get away from this person. This column's feeling pretty specific to career. Let's confirm though and see what other messages we've got going on. We have the Four of Wands at the top there. That's again celebration. Very family and friends focused. I do think that you'll be celebrating whatever the Page of Pentacles is bringing there with that new job, raise, or money news. We have the Two of Swords on top of the Eight of Swords. The Two of Swords is having to make a decision. So I do think some of you will be deciding to go on this new job. But again, you can't be restricting yourself. Don't doubt your capabilities, Leo. Then at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very patient, very hardworking. You have all these skills. You're more than capable. I was just saying how capable you are. The Knight of Pentacles is just confirming that. And what I'm getting with this Five of Swords is at some point in time somebody wasn't really appreciating you, but you will be more appreciated in your new role. People will value you and see how hard you're working. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck for that. If you don't have questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 6 of diamonds. This is number 51 card. That is going to be a no. Question number 2 is the 2 of hearts. This is number 19 card. That's going to be a yes. And for question number 3, we have the 5 of hearts. This is number 2 card. That's going to be a yes also. So no, yes, yes, Leo. If you watched your video at the beginning of the month, we did pull a card from the Healing Stones deck. This is a crystal to keep with you throughout the month of February. You have turquoise, which helps with self-responsibility, and it really helps you forge your own destiny. And then last but not least, we're going to do a card from our Healings Note deck. We can always use more healing. Your note says, walk gently, breathe peacefully, and laugh joyfully. Thank you so much, Leo, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, if you subscribe, that helps me greatly, but you'll also be notified when I post new videos in the future. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box as well if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you, Leo, and have a wonderful February.